I first played Kingdom Hearts when it was originally released in 2002, and in 2017 I rediscovered the series, having suffered from my own personal failings and losing some friends in the process. Suffice it to say, Kingdom Hearts was a way for me to rediscover the importance of friendship, empathy, and self-forgiveness. It reminded me that even in our darkest days, we can still find things that make us smile, laugh, and remember easier times. Memory, therefore, is a huge part of this series, and my experience with it, and it's been a part of the series since Chain of Memories was released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. It is no surprise then that Square Enix and Tetsuya Nomura returns to these themes in the latest Kingdom Hearts adventure, Melody of Memory. But in this game we have a twist on the familiar Kingdom Hearts formula, a theater rhythm game similar to the one released for Final Fantasy on the Nintendo DS in 2012. Melody of Memory is similar in some respects, as well as being a remarkably accessible game and a solid rhythm game to boot. Melody of Memory asks you to play through much of the fantastic Kingdom Hearts franchise and its soundtrack, all the while worlds from previous games pass you by in the background. The graphics are reusing classic assets from the PS2 era, so the best you can say about them is that they're never overly distracting, which is good because your mission is to hit enemies in time with a circle that closes in on them, and having overly detailed backgrounds may have hurt that process. The various scores available, ranging from Miss to Excellent, and even the rare Rainbow Excellent, offer a satisfying level of feedback on your button pressing skills. Getting a full chain of notes nabs you a full chain insignia next to your score, and getting all Rainbow Excellence gets you A+++, both of which are extremely gratifying to see once achieved. Conversely, as you miss notes, your health will take hits, and if it runs out, you'll have to start over. Helping you are items such as potions, mega potions, and summoning stars, among others. Summoning stars are important because they call the one and only Mickey Mouse to your aid. He helps you hit Rainbow Excellence more easily so that you can get more points. These items make tougher songs feel doable, even if you don't quite have the chops to take them on at the time. Mickey can even give you a free revive, making for a scenario where the toughest song can be beaten if you're persistent enough. Thankfully, even when the songs feel challenging on higher difficulties, they never verge on into the fire and flames territory, a torment Guitar Heroes will be familiar with, and the timing often feels generous without making songs a cakewalk. With enough time spent in the game's story, which sees you flying a gummy ship around an expansive map, you'll get a feel for it quickly. That said, the highest scores are not easy to achieve. In my 20 plus hours with the game, I was almost never able to get the elusive A+++ on harder difficulties. Though Melody of Memory is still accessible, with different styles for anyone looking for an easier time or a harder one. You can change the style of a song to one button, which makes it easier to sit back and relax while playing. Additionally, you can turn up the difficulty by adding extra buttons via Performer mode, if playing Wave of Darkness on Proud difficulty, the highest in the game, was not enough for you. Even if you're up for a challenge, the less than 10-hour runtime and price comparison isn't favorable. If fans are looking for a lot of new story content in this full-price game, they may be disappointed. In total, there are only 15 minutes of new cutscenes, and the game itself has only, arguably, 20 hours of replayability. That being said, some fans believe there is plenty of content given how many songs there are from this iconic soundtrack, and it's hard to disagree with that fact. In addition, there are online and cooperative modes to consider, but seeing how in my limited experience, online matchmaking is a dead end, and cooperative play with computer takes too much time to get interesting, they do not add as much as fans may hope. In addition, it's not like you're getting varied or high-fidelity gameplay for your money despite the inclusion of boss fights and memory dives, which only slightly vary the gameplay. Boss fights put you up against various foes as you attempt to not only hit the notes in time, but also avoid their attacks, which can drain your health and bring your session to a screeching halt. While challenging to learn and rewarding to master, they only slightly differ from the standard gameplay. The same can be said of the memory dives, which have you play themes of characters or intro songs like Don't Think Twice. While pretty, the cutscenes playing in the background of these particular tracks can mar visibility at times, making it trickier than it should be to hit certain notes. On the other hand, seeing cutscenes in the main story will have you hearing Kyrie's voice actor, Alison Stoner, telling you briefly what happened in each game. Unfortunately, the cutscenes are so quick you might be under the impression Kingdom Hearts is a fairly simple and clean series, but as many of us know, it is a sanctuary for confusing storylines. Which leads me to another gaping flaw with Melody of Memory, the ending. While I won't spoil anything, it bears mentioning that what Nomura decided to do with certain characters whom he had mishandled previously was disappointing. Thankfully though, there were also some welcome moments, which left me still interested in where the story is going. This point about the story acts as a great measure for the game as a whole. It's frustrating at times, but overall worthwhile. What really hurts Melody of Memory is that there is nothing here besides a solid rhythm game, a so-so ending, and exposition of the entire franchise that really boils everything down to the nuts and bolts. Despite this, for casual fans and the diehards, Melody of Memory is worth visiting at a lower price of admission. After all, it is still a great rhythm game.